Hello, hello. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of TMI Tuesday. I am from a secret location right now due to the fact that I've been doing so much music. I'm kind of all over the place. So I just had to bust a move and make it happen right here because last night was crazy. But thank you for everybody uh, watching the show tonight. Happy to be here. We got some cool topics, and we will be right back. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us here this lovely evening of 10:05 p.m. East Coast. And since I'm on the West Coast, it's 7:05 p.m. So sorry for keeping y'all up. But a show's got to happen, right? Regardless of what time it is. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Sorry I missed last week. Just crazy busy. I just got so many things going on. And so I had to pass over. And then last night I had to push it. So, but I'm happy to be here. Season is going strong. I think this is the third episode of this new season. So I'm excited that, we actually get to have seasons now and in relation to sports. So I think we got like 4 categories tonight. And then maybe we'll see if there's anything else we talk about. But I'm excited. And who I got here with me tonight?
Me.
Caller.
What's up, Tonk? Yep.
I thought that was y'all in the background. I thought that was y'all earlier. Pretty sure I was pretty sure it was y'all. So I was right.
At least for today.
At least for today.
Yeah.
On this Hump Day edition of TMI Tuesdays.
Yep. As long as the computer doesn't change anything,
Well,
I will be in fact
as
color
soon as I
tomorrow
see
as well.
Michael, like as soon as I see that picture of Cap, I know immediately it's Michael K. Because there's probably honestly no other person on earth that will ever just push that picture out. Because Cap never really had like enemies growing up, so I don't think there'd be anybody coming back from his past to do that, and it's just really interesting. I love it. So what do we got? What do we got for first topic of this evening?
I don't know. I never received any, so.
Oh, hold on. I texted y'all the list. You see the list? All right. So I'll just say it then.
Uh-oh.
So our first, I even said it, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yep.
No, I look. I'm looking at it right now. Any topics, and then it's blank. At least you just send it in the group text.
Well, you need to call Cricket then, or
Yeah.
I got not Cricket. I got what you call it.
You said Grasshopper.
I can whip you up a banner as we go, Tunk.
All right. So the first topic is new NFL helmets, and I'm really glad that I selected this one because at first I was just going to talk about that extended padding, which we will. But if you look in the private chat, y'all, I put a link in there because I just found this measurement that they have for NFL helmets, because there's actually 12 new helmets being introduced this season. So now the first one is just that coverage, which can go on probably any helmet. And it's just like that padding that you see them wear usually you'll see like the quarterbacks wearing it when they're just like warming up, or just playing catch with a wide receiver. You'll see that padding. Right. And now the NFL is going to allow it.
That's what the plus 4 is in the title. NFL helmets plus. That's what.
And so now the NFL is going to allow it in every game, and I'm just wondering. I'm really excited to see how many players are going to wear it like day one, like of the regular season or even preseason. Probably maybe we'll see them more wear it in the preseason to get used to it, and then if they don't like it or not. But I think it's a really good idea because Kohler was right. He said this in the group chat that now you're, like let's say a near miss of this much because it was smooth helmet. Now they're going to actually have collision, but I don't know. I think this. So here's how I look at it.
I mean, going on the game of inches theory, you know what I mean?
Right. No, but you're right. I mean, it's going to add additional layers, so there's more likely of a chance. But it's like you have now insulation and padding for the helmet inside and outside of the helmet. So like hitting the ground with something soft on the outside is better than hitting the ground with something hard on the outside. But we had to have some kind of like now the helmet is kind of like a human head, right? You have like the really soft stuff inside and then like a hard shell, but now they just have an extra helmet for their helmet.
The other thing is, you noticed last year when Patrick Mahomes got cracked in the front of the helmet in that one game, he had to switch helmets. And, everybody's like, oh, what a violent hit. But, that was actually more designed to do that. If the helmet's breaking like Patrick Mahomes' helmet did, that means it's doing its job. It's designed to do that, right?
Exactly.
To dispel that, to disperse the energy.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know how that would affect that covering. How are they going to? Is that going to change what Rydell or whoever the helmet maker is? Is that going to change what they had intended for the engineering of their helmet with that cap on? Has anybody even thought of that? Like the engineers involved. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've been using it for years now.
I mean, what I mean is Rydell's not testing their helmets in the crash chamber with that padding on. They're not designed.
Yeah, how do you know they're not doing that?
Well, maybe they are, but that's the question I'm asking. It's kind of like you know how you can't get unless Bose is contracted with a certain auto manufacturer, you can't just buy Bose car speakers brand new from Bose. It's got to be in a car manufacturer that's contracted with them, where they set up the whole, because they engineer their speakers for its environment. So they can't guarantee the quality of it if you're just throwing in Bose car speakers in any old car. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You know, maybe they have been doing that testing. I don't know, but that would be a good question, because that would change the whole dynamics of the engineering that Rydell intended in their helmet.
And one thing about the caps, though, the caps on the helmet. One thing is, would they change the colors? Because at the end of the day,
I don't want it red. That's gonna look like shit.
Well, no, it's not gonna look like shit. But at the end of the day, it's kind of if you're looking at the top of the helmet, it's kind of hard to differentiate your player between the other.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely gonna have to.
Yeah, I wonder if the NFL had even thought of that. Like, oh, we're covering up the logos and everything. Like, what's the point then? You know, are they gonna have another dolphin logo on the?
Yeah, they'll probably
cap?
just do that. It'll look like a 3D dolphin, or like I remember I saw this
like a Lego dolphin.
I saw this picture the other day. It was like a drawing on a wall. It was like someone painted a dog, but like one of those bug eye looking dogs, and then they stuck like this light thing for the eye, and it looked so real because it actually looked like the bug eyed dog, like a Chihuahua or something. And
you wanted to take him out back and just be like, put him down. Oh, you're just like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about what's her name with that new book. Is it too soon?
Dude, you're.
Oh, I know. Those that know will probably laugh, but it was kind of a dry joke.
So all right. So in reference to that same helmet, so if y'all, can y'all pull up that link that I did y'all look at that link that I put in the private chat? Because it brings up the 2024 helmet laboratory testing performance results, and it's saying it shows like an arrow going up, and it goes from like yellow to green, and it's talking about better laboratory performance. And Rydell, just like you mentioned earlier, is actually having the most highest performance helmet, but. And then there's been ones that are prohibited now. And this is the third edition. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's been 6 helmets that were prohibited now. And it shows like the little number 3 and what it refers to down at the bottom for the footnotes for like defensive line, offensive line, and QB. So this is actually really cool stuff.
I think it'd really be beneficial for the linemen too, because their helmets clank a lot without us realizing it.
Well, that's what I'm saying about the padding, because if you have padding hitting padding, it's going to basically be like almost nothing colliding, especially when it's not that fast. You know, when they're just like bumping into each other. So I don't know. It might really help a lot. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the graph. So. I mean, just with nowadays, there's just so much opportunity for technological advances, you know, with science and stuff. And now they're like, that's crazy that they're banning helmets and stuff too, and showing the performance measures. That's pretty cool. I mean, you know, like a lot of other injuries in NFL can be repaired, but brain injuries, you can't really repair that. You know, like there's not really much you can do. The best measurement is preventive. That's really the best measurement. So it's hopefully, I don't know if this has anything to do with when they made that. Didn't the NFL come to an agreement? Was it like a couple $1 billion to former players and CTE? I wonder if some of that money goes to this.
It's definitely quite possible. That could have also been ordered, like, hey, you got to pay this amount of money, and you got to, you know, kind of like the tobacco companies that had to actually put out anti-smoking campaigns and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I remember when Marlboro started having to do that. It's like really.
And a lot of that money, a lot of the actual money went to, I think, some kind of trust that would get them the insurance coverage they needed. Medical care they needed, I think, is what it had a lot to do with too. on the money end of it. But yeah, they could have been ordered also, like, hey, you got to like really change shit, NFL, or the NFL is going to do that anyway for.
Yeah. But it's funny is when they did those anti cigarette commercials, the irony is that there was a lot of people that were like very rebelling against everybody, and they smoked because of those ads. Like, oh, you're not going to tell me what to do, and they started smoking because of those anti.
Well, I mean, those people are just going to take themselves out. You know what I mean? Like, go right ahead, have at it. It's
and it is a major addiction. So, like, and I'll speak from experience. Even the mention of a cigarette, even in negative terms, makes me want to light one up. So, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, they didn't like when you can, the fact that you can go get help for smoking cessation from like governments and all that. I think that's where that money comes from. Like, they were also ordered to pay into like basically the reason we can get smoking cessation help for free now is because of the tobacco companies having to pay for all that.
I mean, it was a good thing when that happened, it brings a lot more clarity and transparency and understanding to it. And now people who smoke, they 100% know that it's all on them, and
I mean, at least I'll give them credit for one thing. They're not going to, at least they wag their finger in front of us with a way for us to get ourselves out of it. They didn't just, leave us.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good,
which is a rare thing for the.
That was so interesting to watch that happen, because like cigarettes used to be in everything. Like you can go inside restaurants, they'd have smoking sections, and smoking sections. It's like that thing is that's like never going to happen.
Both times I went to Germany, 1991 and 1995, and we sat in a plane where there was still smoking on an international flight.
Oh my god!
And the thing of it was, bro, you know how the bigger planes are divided into sections by actual columns. With the TV, back when they didn't have TVs in the seat, they would have the TV there for everybody to see in each section, right? And they didn't even divide the smoking section by one of those dividers. They did it. Look, row 22 is non-smoking. Row 23 is smoking, bro. So if you were like 5 seats away from it, you were still hating life. You know what I mean?
Oh man. That's insane.
It was crazy how it's like you don't even give the courtesy of like dividing it by the big.
I know, but then you can see commercials now,
right there,
You can see commercials nowadays of when they were introducing seatbelts and when they were introducing, well, not commercials, but like videos of people protesting when they introduced seatbelts, and when they introduced not allowed to drink and drive, you see people like, what do you mean I can't drink and drive?
Right.
Since when?
And the people that were against seatbelts are like, how are they going to make us do something like that? Like what is the deal? It's like,
or helmets with motorcycles. I still don't think they're required to federally. Like it's a right not to wear a helmet.
In Florida, you don't have to.
In Florida, yeah, you don't have to. Florida is like the most lax motorcycle laws in the country. This state,
we got a good cleanup system. Yeah.
Ironically, the woman who fought for the motorcycle helmet, she died in a car motorcycle.
No, there was multiple people that died from head injuries from not wearing a helmet. And they were on the board of people who it was multiple people. And it's like, to talk about dying for your cause, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's so much effort. And then I remember talking to somebody who was pro anti-helmet, and he was like, oh yeah, well, when you're at a red light and you're in the sun and you know how hot it is in that helmet. I'm like, yeah, but you're only in the red light for like 3 minutes, and then you're driving and the air is blowing. And it's just like, it's the late. That was the only excuse I ever heard. Like when I talked to somebody who was anti-helmet, that was the only thing they ever argued, was that how hot it is when you're in traffic at a red light. I'm like, so you're going to try to get rid of helmets altogether because of that one thing? And it's just like, you couldn't even get the person to look past that.
And honestly, constitutionally speaking, all they can really do it based on is impact, basically, because the taxpayers have to clean up your smashed head off the asphalt. You know what I mean?
every time I ever rode a motorcycle,
and they also have to pay for the psychological help for the cop, and it has
motorcycle insurance was like $22 a month, and a helmet is $50 one time. It's like $22 a month isn't then like when I had insurance, because when I rode a motorcycle, it was mostly in Florida, and I always had a helmet, long sleeve shirt, gloves, pants, and motorcycle insurance. And because if I ever had a guest or something, you know, I wanted to make sure that person is safe too. And people would argue with me about it. They're like, oh, well, you know, you don't have to have motorcycle insurance. I'm like, yeah, well, I also don't have to go through a windshield, but you know, it's like $22 a month is worth me going through a windshield and being protected. Like it's $22 for the rest of my life once a month. Like
it is kind of amazing how we've never required helmets for automobile drivers.
Oh. Color, don't even go there, dude. Okay.
I mean, why not? What's the you know what I mean?
You would be anti-car helmet.
Oh, I would be, but
yeah,
I tell you what.
So
I would be.
He's like thinking of a topic just to argue. He's like, you know what we should invent and argue against? Car helmets.
Well, I just wanted something to fight against, but you know, what's
just like I just
something besides like existential issues. You know what I mean? And by the way, as much as I would fight against it, don't think that I didn't wish I didn't have a helmet on the day I hit a windshield with my head. I mean, I wish I had a helmet that day. But I also wish I was wearing my seatbelt.
A seatbelt saved my life completely, 100% saved my life. I rolled a car, douche, okay?
Yeah.
And there was no sunroof
because most people that roll their car are against seatbelts.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Most of the people I've met that have been in a roll, they wish they didn't have their seatbelt on.
I don't. It's just like I don't understand how two things can exist. Where
me neither.
You wish you didn't have your seatbelt on when one of the most catastrophic car in like.
Well, I should say anecdotally,
my car was completely destroyed. If I didn't have a helmet, if I didn't have a seatbelt on, I would have been either killed or severely injured. Where like I am
and anecdotally, Tonk, the one person I know, she like it would have been more from her perspective, I should say, it would have been more beneficial for her to be thrown from the vehicle than what happened to her being seatbelted in it. So now she has a phobia for seatbelts. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. It
really is weird. I mean,
I only ever hear stories of when a seatbelt didn't help. I never actually see the person that it didn't help.
Well, I mean, I always told her, look, 99 other times you're going to wish you're going to be thankful you had your seatbelt on. You know what I mean? Like she don't think of it that way though, because of the trauma. You know what I mean?
It completely saved my life, 100%.
Like I'm perfectly fine in a car as long as I'm not in the passenger seat.
Noted. All right. So what do we got? What do we got next?
All right. Let's see what we got next. Let me get down to banners. We got SEC.
Yeah. So we actually touched on this, I don't know, a month ago or so or longer. First, they were having like a committee. Like they created a committee, Big Ten SEC committee. Now that same committee just SEC Big Ten developing plan to share revenue with players and potential landmark change to college athletics. So this is, I guess, maybe in addition to name, image, likeness. Let me see. So far, this article is just all pictures and shit. It's not like anything I could actually read. Let me see.
While you're doing that, I just wanted to say the NFL is lit. Yes, I was around for both times Coke was the new thing.
What the heck is this? Why can't it? I'm reading like the thing, but it's not showing an article. It's just showing like, Oh, maybe because it's CBS. Maybe it's something I have to be subscribed to. Dang it. Here, let me see if I could, because earlier I saw it on my phone. Because I wanted to see like what
some of them a-holes only give you like 5 views a week or something.
I wanted to see like what the actual revenue. Stupid article.
Somebody got breaking news.
I don't know why it's not showing it, but because I wanted to see like what. Let me see. Let me just search for it again. SEC Big Ten.
Where was it, in ESPN or what?
It was on CBS.
CBS Sports?
Yeah. It says, oh, here we go. Here we go. Now I found it. Okay. So the SEC and Big Ten are the center of developing a revenue sharing plan with players that would redefine college athletics for the future, CBS Sports has learned. So called the name Modern Model would not only share revenue with the players, but also perhaps help settle the House versus NCAA lawsuit that goes to trial in January 2025. The antitrust lawsuit is a class action complaint alleging the NCAA and power conferences have conspired to suppress athletes' compensation. It's like,
wow. So it begins, Tonk.
It's like this is an example of biting the hand that feeds you. Okay.
Yep.
The NCAA has basically allowed open game, open season for college athletes. They could go wherever they want. They could play for whoever they want. They can get paid however they can get paid. And there's still complaints that House versus NCAA lawsuit. It's like, I mean, like, it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe there is, but
I'm saying they're heading towards a place, and I've said it all along. They're heading towards a place where they could really no longer be called amateur sports. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, dude, I wouldn't call college football players amateurs ever.
What I mean is that they function in certain ways with certain rules because it's considered amateur. But it is, like, for instance, the things we see in the NFL with, like, the rigging and all that. You're not going to, I mean, obviously college is like, gentleman game. But what I'm really looking, like, I'm starting to foresee sort of that if these colleges start to become irrelevant for these athletes when it comes to their education, also because of the money involved and the sports at the college, i.e. the football, becomes its own institution, then you could look at the same way the professional football was kind of came into existence, or how it was originally done with original college football. Like, these teams were considered football clubs, and not much different than the way soccer is leagues are played. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's saying
I can foresee a situation where you have these colleges that have the big football teams just become football clubs for that college. You know what I mean? Or for that town or whatever.
So it says, House suit claims that college athletes are entitled to a share of television revenue as well as money from their likeness appearing in video games from the past. So I guess television revenue they're not getting paid for. And then because of this antitrust case, damages sought could be tripled if the case goes to jury and the NCAA loses. It'll cost the NCAA $4.2 billion.
Crazy.
Okay, look. I don't necessarily have a problem with them saying that the players should be paid from television, but the NCAA still needs to make money. So, like, if you want them to be a governing agency, they have to have income, and if you're taking all that income away, then it's basically disrupting the whole system. Like, okay, all right, I could see that maybe we want to add in television, but it's like I don't know. It just seems like they're making it like they're trying to screw over students. I don't know.
Right. On the other token about the television revenue, they could probably up the ante for the schools, or for the athletes, by using a drop in the bucket of that revenue, and
like the national championship,
you know how much that money.
Like the national championship, for example. Okay, I could understand some revenue going to the students from that game, but like if it has to be on like SEC Plus,
right,
or
right.
ESPNU or ESPN3, like,
right.
Okay, but like it's not even who's actually even really watching that game on TV, like not that many compared to the national championship. So I could see that, but I think it should be a sliding scale. Like CBS paid the SEC $2 billion to have the streaming, the television
billion,
right.
you said, with a B?
Yeah.
Right. See, that's what I mean, Tonk. I mean, take 5% of 2 billion. That's enough of a pie to keep to basically placate these people with the lawsuit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it's like,
in other words, if there's that kind of disparity, then I have to, I would, and I'm not siding with them. I'm just looking at it from their perspective. Like, if there's a huge disparity, then it's like 1% of that 2 billion, bro. That's like a lot of money. You know what I mean?
So like the SEC, all right, specifically this committee is going against the NCAA. But what about you, SEC? You got paid $2 billion by CBS so they could stream your television.
What I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The players? Are the players getting some of that damn money?
Right, exactly what I'm saying, Tonk, because 5% of that is how much, dude? A lot. I'm just saying it's a lot. Like, people, dude,
probably
$50 billion is a lot of freaking money. You could give a small percentage of that and be giving a lot of money to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like just chill. I don't know, man. It's just like I think like these big wigs are just getting too big. Like that's why when I first heard of this SEC Big Ten committee, I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. And look at it now. Now they're trying to basically get rid of the NCAA. That's what it seems like they're trying to do. Is dismantle, because if the NCAA loses, if the NCAA loses, they're going to owe $4 billion?
Wow.
4.2 billion. I mean, how much money does the NCAA have? I don't know, but like
probably
it really seems like they're trying to just totally dismantle the SEC, the NCAA,
right? Or render them irrelevant to their own purpose,
right? Where they can't afford to be around. It's like, but like
the
NCAA doesn't just serve football; they serve every freaking college sport,
right?
Like synchronized swimming, basketball, volleyball, running.
And if they have a better marketing angle than the NCAA ever did,
see track and field as a thing besides the Olympics. It's like colleges keep that shit alive, and like the NCAA helps a lot with that, with all the governing and all of the, they do a lot. And like just because maybe we might have our issues with the NCAA, which is fine, but like. I think they're trying their hardest right now with the NIL. I really do. I really think that they're giving their best effort. And I think the SEC and Big Ten is trying to dismantle them. It's fucking monopoly bullshit. It's capitalism monopoly bullshit is what it is. It's freaking billionaire white people just trying to make more billions. That's all it is. They're saying money. All of this right here is all about money. The NCAA is giving out so much money and people want more of it. It's just like I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous.
I ain't saying the majority. Watch football. I'm just saying there's probably a few others peppered in there too.
All right. So let me see what we got next. Oh, yeah, this one. Because speaking of this next topic, NBA playoffs. So the Heat just lost, so they're out. They lost to the Celtics. The Lakers are out. Is LeBron coming back? I don't know. It's
wait, the Heat are out?
Yeah, they just lost again.
Oh.
They were 3. I think it was 3.
Everybody's depressed.
Yeah, they just lost literally like right before this we started this episode.
Wow.
But I don't know. I was just thinking about like the conversations we've had about LeBron and his legacy and such, and comparing him to like Michael Jordan and stuff. I don't know. I think
over with.
I don't think it's necessarily over with, because especially if he plays longer, I don't think it's over
I
with.
mean, I don't
but-
follow the NBA, so I'm kind of a total third party viewpoint on the LeBron Michael Jordan thing. But what I've always said and stood firm with is that, and somebody pointed it out the other day too, I forget who it was, about you don't have people collecting LeBron James shoes, at least not in the numbers that you do Jordan shoes.
No, but Jordan kind of
You don't have a pair of LeBron shoes selling for like a couple $1 million, you know what I mean? And
yeah, but
and
shoes
the other thing
started.
for me personally is, yo, dude, I don't watch basketball and I still know about Michael Jordan, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you
he
still know about LeBron
transcended,
James.
like, he got everybody to watch, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he also coined like the shoe craze. He was that. I don't think we really had a shoe craze until Michael Jordan.
The
Like, they
last
even
point
made a
of view,
movie about it. That's why they
right,
made a movie about it.
right. The last point of view from a non-basketball watcher is that I guarantee you, when LeBron James was 14 years old and he's on his backyard basketball court or down road at the park with the boys, whatever, that when he drove the paint or drove the lane, that dude was mouthing out, and as if the commentator was talking about Michael Jordan going to the hoop. I guarantee you. Just like when, you know, some of us that admire Dan Marino would sit there and go, Marino drops back to throw as I'm throwing the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what kids do.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And
sometimes
everybody I know that I've ever played basketball with as a kid would say Jordan driving to the hoop when they took the ball to the hoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never once heard somebody be like acting like they're playing LeBron James. You know what I mean?
That is pretty true. That is I've even heard more
people say that the equivalent these days, the digital equivalent to that, would be people choosing to LeBron James as their avatar playing maybe a video game. You know what I mean? That might be the equivalent. So I wouldn't know. Maybe everybody does pick LeBron James for all I know. But I just know I ain't never heard one of my friends act like they were LeBron James going to the hoop. That's all I know.
Yeah, nowadays it's just like people saying Kobe. Like when they're trying to
right.
a far throw. That's the only other. Yeah, I've never heard a comparison be like, oh,
or
LeBron.
From a football perspective, pick your favorite quarterback. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting take on it.
And that's only because I don't follow I don't follow the NBA, so that's kind of the only
so
that I can grab intelligence from is my
Clippers,
own
the
experience.
Clippers and the Mavs are tied up 2-2. Celtics won their series. Let's see. New York is leading the 76ers 3-2. The Knicks are looking good. Jalen Brunson is so badass. And the Cavs are up 3-2 against the Magic. That's a really good series so far. And the Bucks and Pacers is a really good series, 3-2. And I mean, the Bucks have won 2 games. That's without their star players. I mean, that's, against the Pacers. I don't know. I haven't watched the Pacers too much. I don't know how good they are, but because there's been a lot of when the head coach of the Bucks now, Doc Rivers, when he first got there, and he's still under scrutiny, like not scrutiny, but heavy criticism to win. And I mean, to be 3-2, and they just won tonight to bring it to 3-2. Whoa, that's crazy. Or no, they won last night to bring it to 3-2. I mean, I think he's doing all right. I think he's doing all right. I don't think you can ask much more. Right? I don't think you can ask much more for him in this position. So it's really nice because I feel like he was under a lot of pressure and stuff. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But at least he's doing everything he can. So Thunder. Oh yeah, and the Thunder won. They swept the Pelicans. Thunder are a really young team too. So, and then the Nuggets won. And let's see who's playing tomorrow. I love this time of year. Freaking so much basketball. So the Bucks and Pacers play again tomorrow, and so the Knicks and 76ers. So we'll see if they're going to tie it up.
The Knicks, really?
The Knicks and the Sixers, yeah. Game
They're
6.
the ones. They're the ones I always hear. Everybody thinks that they're like the fakers, like always, forever, like That's what I thought.
Yeah, there's just a lot of history there with the Knicks.
Right.
They've always been like a
My
a
takes
team.
from the Knicks would be from like Stephen A. Smith's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, he hates them, I should say he hates.
No, he's a
love
Knicks
them.
fan.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He hates to love them, is what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't like he knows, like he's one of those jaded fans, I guess. So he always thinks they're gonna fail him.
I like the comments tonight. The one dude, Willie Molina, he's like, I like your nerdy, nerdy voice. And then Michael K's like, I only came here. He's like, don't disappoint. Where's the WNBA segment?
All right, here's our equal coverage. Women play basketball. Next.
Yeah, so we got plenty of basketball left. And yeah, it was good to see that LeBron and the Lakers at least won one game against Denver, because getting swept twice in a row, that would be crazy, man.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. I think
Denver's one of them
I think you
towns
still got to
on
give
the up and up,
LeBron though, like to have this much impact still at his age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to like win a game against the champions who they didn't win last season a game, they won this season a game. So like, it's just, I don't care how much he isn't talked about as much as
Ali, I didn't even, every time you hesitate, I don't know if you have the wand or not.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, Ali's with us, and I was just telling him because I brought him up, and then because if he hesitates for like 5 or 10 seconds, then sometimes I think he doesn't have the powers, so I bring him up prematurely.
I appreciate you, Color. Thank you for looking out for me, but I got it.
Well, sometimes it gets traded around. I don't know if maybe somebody needed to do something or whatever.
Definitely, I appreciate that, man.
And I ain't been doing nothing. So if y'all ever need the powers, just let me know.
I got.
So I was gonna say the last topic is just I was gonna say look in the comment section on so the last topic was just gonna be look in the comment section and see if there was any side conversations, but it was all pretty much just going on what we were talking about.
Right,
so
right. Do you have any comments on that Ross thing, man? About
I don't really understand it enough.
So basically, Ross got offered like $10 billion for the Dolphins and all his stuff involved with the stadium and all that, the F1 and all that, and he turned it down. It would have been sole control. It would have been for majority control of all of it, right?
I mean,
$10 billion.
I don't.
And yes, and he turned it down. But the thing of it is like first of all, people didn't expect there to be a reported offer like that. But secondly, it kind of goes
who offered it to him?
Was it Ken Griffin? You said Griffin. Shake.
Yeah,
no
Ken
relation.
Griffin. That's his name, Ken Griffin. He's worth like $36 billion.
Hedge fund guy from Miami area.
Does he own anything else? Does he own any other teams?
Yeah, let me explain. So he makes his money basically. 75% of every transaction made in Wall Street is run through the company that he owns. So pretty much every stock he owns a cut of it, basically.
Wow! So he owns basically not just a hedge fund, but like an exchange or something, or part of it.
Yeah, he owns it's probably
it's Citadel. It's called Citadel, I think, and it's located in they're headquartered out of Miami. But one thing I'll say is that in the matter of how much money is this guy worth, let's just I think I did some reading, and Ross is like worth about 10 to 12 billion or something to that effect. This guy is worth 3 times that amount.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, if I was Ross, I would probably say no too. Like, sell it and go do what? Hang out? I don't know. Like, what do you do after you sell the Miami Dolphins? You don't do much.
You buy the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
I think to be honest, whenever you try to buy something, you lowball first. Personally, I think that with having the Miami Dolphins, and then you also look at the F1 racing, and we also have the tennis courts and stuff like that. And you also look at the fact that we're one of the only teams. I want to say we're the only team, but there might be one other team that actually owns its own turf farm. No other team has that, which basically means we have the ability to change the field 7 times a year without any problem.
That's because most of turf grown is in Florida.
I understand, but
Right.
the only team that owns a farm that does this. That's like
it's probably right off 70 Beeline. You just take Beeline and you go out there. It's cocoa sod.
But all I'm saying is that he probably feels it's worth more than 10 billion. I honestly think he could get somewhere around the range of 15 billion personally.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's probably just going to hand it down to his family.
Well, I thought he was going to give it to his daughter, but the rumors have it that she didn't want it.
Well, either way, he apparently he does have some kind of succession plan. But another thing is that there's a large amount of people in our fan base that are ready to send him to the pasture, dude. So, there's also that aspect too. You know,
I was wondering why y'all were
like, take the $10 million, dude. You know what I mean?
I don't know that much about him. If y'all don't like him, I can see why this is important.
I mean, he has done what we've needed to do, but there are people that don't like his vision for the future. You know what I mean? For the football aspect.
Some of the moves he makes just doesn't make sense. And then I'll give you an example of something that I don't like, right? I didn't like the fact, when we needed a head coach, everybody wanted Harbaugh here. And the big hoopla on what I heard, the reason that Harbaugh didn't come is because of the money that our owner would have to pay because of his ties with certain organization with Michigan that would have to pay the buyout clause of what Harbaugh had with Michigan. And if you really want to, in some of the things he does with his money, it almost looks like he fancies Michigan more than his Miami. You know what I mean?
He
went there, went to school there and everything. I get it. I just personally, I want an ownership that's all about football. You know what I mean? I want an ownership that, they're all about, solely the team and making the team better. And that's what they do 24/7. It's great that we have F1. It's great, but how does that help the Miami Dolphins?
Who gives it?
How does that?
Also, Doc, I was only quasi joking about buying the Lions because he does in fact have an ongoing revitalization project /
in Detroit,
whatever you want to talk about for Detroit. So yeah, he's kind of working that city right now. You know what I mean?
You have to remember that our owner is primarily a big time real estate conglomerate. You know what I mean? That's where he makes his bread and butter. So,
which I'm all for, dude. I've been to Detroit, man.
Yeah.
I went through Detroit to go to Canada many years ago, and dude, I'm telling you, that city, what he's doing there is a great thing, and people are going to be able to I'm just saying, man, like that town deserves to be delivered, man.
I don't know if you guys remember the old RoboCop movies. Do you guys remember the old RoboCop movies? And the city was like in a apocalyptic kind of state,
Yeah, it's literally like that there.
It's literally like that in Detroit. I'm from that area, I can tell you, right? Yeah. And it's literally like that. So what he's doing is great. I'm all for it. But when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, though, I just want. Let's do more for our team. He built a state-of-the-art training facility. That's awesome. I can see how that's going to help the team, but I need more focus on the team. That's basically what I'm looking for.
So is Stephen Ross going to turn into RoboCop so he could own the team for another 30 years?
I don't know if he will, but if you actually look at Chris Greer, I think he might turn into RoboCop, to be honest.
Yeah, it's funny though. We don't even make that car they used for the futuristic cop cars in that movie anymore. We've already been through that model line and discontinued it.
Oh, shit,
They were Ford Probes. You don't remember? They were Ford Probes.
Oh, man. I think we just created something here on TMI.
What's that?
Oh, I'm going to share it. We're going to share it specially with the audience at a later time. but I'm gonna talk to you guys backstage about it. I got an idea that I think is gonna be awesome.
No, did you see that meme of RoboCop? And it said terrible city requires cop to come back into work after he died.
Oh shit! Damn.
Wow. So bad they're up there.
Stop. They made him come back to work.
I mean, hey, maybe it's okay that so many dead people vote. Maybe the city of Detroit brought them all back to life.
Oh, there we go. There's your broken hot take for you. It's like death voting.
Right, the dead voters are actually real. They're just cyborgs.
So we're gonna have like AI voting, dude.
Dead or alive, you're voting for me.
You guys talk about the whole logo hoopla that was going on Twitter.
No, I don't go on Twitter.
All right, so there's this hoopla because during the draft, they were advertising some type of like AI generated logos for every team, right? And they had like T-shirts and maybe hats, I think, from what I heard. Well, there was this the Miami Dolphins logo has this mean looking dolphin on it. I'm not gonna lie, I like that about it, but it had some weird sun behind it, and everyone was calling it shit. They didn't like it. You know, they were getting pissed because they thought it was like for legit, like it's gonna change our logo or whatever. I want to go back to that mean looking dolphin.
I like it too.
I just didn't like the sun behind it. So if we can change that sun behind it,
way, bro. The sun is exactly, dude. My current avatar is modeled after the sun ring, man. Tell me,
I don't like the new dolphin. He looks
no, not that sun.
Oh, the sun ring on the AI generated.
The AI was weird looking. I want to change that.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Them AI generated images freaking creep me out, dude. I'm just gonna say it right now. Like they just do. Every one of them. I get it. They're creepy.
I know, it's so weird looking. It's like such a
easily tell an AI generated image because they're so freaking creepy, dude.
I know they are. It's like
in some way.
It's like real life, but in like I don't know.
They're like they're like character paintings, dude. You nailed it. It's like real life. They're like character paintings, bro.
What is
just creepy as all hell, man.
What is creepy, and I've shown some of the images that can be created to Color and Shake and other people of T.F.T.G. But with AI, you can generate a photo of a human being that is completely created by AI and pass it for a real person. People can create catfishes so easily with AI. It's not even funny.
I'm sure there's people good enough to work with the system to make the images.
Like you can create a whole person.
But when you talk about the general masses using AI to create images, it has created this whole batch of like really creepy pictures, dude. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm sure somebody can make it look good.
I'm talking about you can make it look completely legit. You know what I'm saying?
Like they should only be used as templates. Have the thing generate you an image, and then you actually take out the creepy shit. You know what I mean? That's all. Use it as a template. Don't be. These people are just posting shit like, "Oh, look at me, I'm such an artist." Oh, give me a break, dude. The dolphin looks like it's like looking to. Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but you know what dolphins can do to people. They get trapped in a pool with them. All I'm saying is these dolphins are creepy looking, man.
Trapped in a pool. Like, oh shit, I'm in a pool.
You know what I mean? I don't want to make light of that word. Certainly not.
They get trapped in a pool.
The dolphins do. You know, that's what these dolphin characters look like. Give them a little brown mustache and shit. I mean, really?
Yeah. I personally don't want to change our logo per se. But I do want an alternate helmet and uniform outside of the throwbacks. I would, you know what I mean? I like having the throwbacks, but if we're only going to wear them once or twice a year, at least give me a different alternate to wear also on a special occasion. You know what I mean?
Camouflage.
Pick your favorite first-person shooter, Tonk, and have that game create images for you, dude. That's what it's like, man.
Here we go. I got something for you, bro. I got something. This is right up
resonating.
Tonk's gonna love this. Check this out. And MLS does this, and I know for a fact that Fanatics now sells these jerseys, right? Fanatics sell jerseys that are completely made out of recycled material, right? And MLS, for example, has a whole week where every MLS team in the whole league wears an alternate jersey, looks completely different than the normal standard away or home jersey, and it's made out of complete recycled plastics and everything, right? And that's found in the sea specifically, just so you're aware. So that being said, it's great marketing. You could sell these jerseys because everybody's going to want that one-of alternate jersey that comes out every year, because you would come out with a new one every year, and you could sell the shit out of it. And it also does the world good because they're taking plastic that's from the sea out, recycling and repurposing it. And they already have, Fanatics already has Nike jerseys made out of that. I think it's the Fuse Nike jersey.
Yeah, Nike makes shoes. I have a pair of shoes that are recycled material by Nike.
Yeah, so they're already doing it. So why don't you make alternate jerseys just as a 1 week towards, making the world better or whatever, just for that? I think MLS already does it. Why can't the NFL? And you have a whole reason to market it, and everybody's going to want to buy that one-off jersey every year. So it's a every year thing. The gift that keeps on giving. Technically, if you're all about the money and you're part of the ownership or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sustainability rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'd like it, Sonic. So since I thank you for sharing that, Ali. I like that a lot. Since doing talent buying and tour management now, sometimes I'm asked to provide water for whatever artists we have, and so I always go and make sure I buy canned water. and I have them drink that, and I get pictures of them drinking the water and stuff, and I'm I get to be an environmental scientist at the same time. But the people end up liking the water. It's called Good Source. It's bottled out here. Well, it's canned out here in Idaho. Well, over in Idaho. And it's so good. It's has a lot of minerals in it, and man, it's so good. It's the best water. Everybody ends up always liking it, but it's just really interesting to see their first they're what the heck is that? And then they're oh, I really like this. So it's a lot of fun. But that's all I got for tonight. Thank you, Ali, for coming through with the sustainability topic of the night. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Michael K was waiting for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're looking for those sustainable jerseys that Nike sells, look up Nike Fuse jersey. I'm pretty sure they make one for every team.
I don't like jerseys, but that would be something I would be interested in. Man, we should even talk to HB about if we have jerseys made.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Do we have jerseys available on our website? I'm not sure. But anyways, everyone, make sure you follow, share. Thank you for the comments. Comments have been flooded tonight. We had a lot of people in the comments tonight, different people talking about different stuff. So thank you, everybody, for joining in tonight on this Wednesday. I saw some new faces, I think, in the comments. So if you're new here, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we had a decent show for you tonight, and I try to have some topics that are relatively informational and always pertaining to sports. So it's always a nice time to be able to jump on here and mix it up a little bit. But besides that, I'm good.
Hey, by the way, next week we could one of the topics I would like to try to talk about is college football is going to finally put in the 2-minute warning.
Damn, dude!
What do you mean?
Thunder, Shake.
Yeah,
well, let's just carry this next.
I'm gonna cover that in Insomnia.
That's cool. I had thought about regarding a new episode of something. We'll talk backstage. All
right. Thank you, everyone.
My bad. Here you go. One more time. Take 2.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice night.